Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because Will Eisner did that. I'm sure, as you know, but I don't know if everybody in the audience knows. Years ago, during World War II, he was doing comics and everything, and then was drafted. And he said, "Hey, instead of giving me a gun, said I bet I could save more of your soldiers' lives by drawing."
That's right.
They said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, what are your biggest problems?" They said, "Well, nobody's reading the manuals, so the tanks are blowing up, or their guns are misfiring, or people are getting injured and hurt and killed sometimes because they're not following the procedures." And he said, "Let me test out a theory." And so he started this. I forget what he called it. I think it's PS is the acronym, but it was a publication that was a comic book that where it would have some idiot that would blow himself up or something because he didn't read the manual, and then some attractive lady would walk out and teach the principle of how to clean whatever part that just blew up or whatever. And anyway, they saw an actual marked difference in accidents and casualty every time he would produce a comic on something. The rate of failure of that thing would drastically decrease.
Wow. I didn't know that. I had heard of him, but I did not know there was data or at least, qualitative information about the effectiveness of it. But it doesn't surprise me, because the other thing, and you guys are much more expert than I am about this, but in my experience, we created a handful of comics. They went, very well within the cybersecurity sort of community. The responses that we got is really exactly what you're saying, that just teaching what's sometimes referred to as basic cyber hygiene. And in our industry, the word hygiene has a double meaning. And you see behind me, I have this character called Vernon the virus. And if you can see it, and basically this was before COVID, so it wasn't like viruses were in the zeitgeist, or the consciousness of the world like they are now. So at that time, you hear what? Computer virus, I mean, and everything that emanates from that. So this concept, so we did a comic or a little strip, I think it was, but just equating computer viruses with human viruses and the common characteristics. So instead of just, let's say, washing your hands, you practice that kind of hygiene with certain techniques on your digital devices and things like that. So it's great to hear that it helped, and we hope that our work helps. That's the idea.